Okay, we are online. Let's see, streaming live, turn on, mute everybody. And finally the video. Okay, everybody, here we are. All glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to the virtual Prasadam, virtual program, everything virtual. We're not doing it from the temple because we're trying to avoid too many people congregating in the temple at once because we have, unfortunately, not here in Nugaloka, but in the United States, we have a COVID outbreak. And so far, none of the devotees have gotten it. But so we're doing this from my home, and I'm safe in my home. Nobody else is here to infect me. So this is my home. In case any of you want to see, this is my home. You see, nice home. Krishna, of course, they don't want to show the back room because it's really messy. Let me turn on the light. Better to hide the mess so that nobody can see it. So anyway, so welcome everybody. And so this evening, we're going to do something special. Since it's Sunday, I know at the beginning of Kartik, I said I would do the Brajmandal Parikrama, different parts. So we're going to continue with the Brajmandal Parikrama. Since it's Sunday here, Monday in Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji. But anyway, I think it'll be interesting for everybody. But before we start, I am going, like I mentioned before, instead of just me chanting, of course, there will be me chanting, I'm going to show a video of the best dancer, one of the Gandharvas from the spiritual world, who's dancing. And this time I will make sure the video shows nicely. So we're going to see that along with chanting Vibhava Varishesha before we begin. Okay, here we go. Give me 1 second. All right. Optimize screen sharing for video clip, share. Okay, here we go. It's a few minutes, but you can listen. It's a very beautiful song, very nice dance. Somehow they can't share this screen. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let me just change the parameters on this. Let's see if this makes a difference. Now video has no sound. Okay, let's try again. We'll eventually get this right. Showing videos. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second and we will try again with a different app. You don't have to touch anything. Don't change this. Okay. Let's try with a different app and see if this works now. Ooh. Give me 1 second. If it doesn't work, then Krishna doesn't. Hold on a second. We will try again. right. All right. And that was very nice. And pardon me if things were a little jumpy because I'm running off of my phone internet right now because our main internet is down. And tomorrow I'm getting a supplemental internet service to help with that when our main internet goes down. But okay, so now we're going to have something very, very special. We're going to continue with our Braj Mandal Parikrama, one particular area in Braj Mandal we're going to do. And this, of course, is the virtual Sunday feast for our temple here in Nugaloka. And we're not having an actual Sunday feast because it's COVID time. And unfortunately, I can't travel. So I ask you all to pray, my dear Lord Krishna, please let Bir Krishna Goswami travel again. Pray to the Lord so I can come and travel. We've been here so long, it seems like forever. Okay. Anyway, so now we're going to continue with the Brajamandal Parikrama. And let's see how we're going to do this. All right, let's just do sharing. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to do a particular section of the Brajamandal Parikrama. Actually, let me offer our obeisances too. Om Ganat Timiranda Shah Gananjana Shlakaya Chakshur and Meditam Yena Tasmai Shigurve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who so kindly opened my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge while I was blinded in the darkness of ignorance. So this particular section is from Gantoli to Badrinath to Kedarnath and Kamyavan. And I just want to let you know something first before we start, that all the holy places are found in their original form, because we're not going to leave Braj. You know, some of you are thinking, oh, he's going to go to Badrinath, or he's going to go to Kedarnath in the mountains, or he's going to go somewhere else. But we are not going to leave Braj. Because, why are we not going to leave Braj? Because the original form of all the holy places from which all the other holy places are expanded is in Braj. So you're just going, when you go to Badrinath in the Himalayas, you're just going to an expansion of the original Badrinath. And Kedarnath is the same thing. And Lakshman Julan is the same thing. So all the holy places are contained within Braj Mandal. It's really wonderful to hear about this. So, let's start. Oops, getting messages. Just got to check my messages to make sure. Okay. That we're all right online. So this is Gantoli. Gantoli means to tie knots, basically Badrinath, where Badrinarayan is the deity of Badrinarayan. Kedarnath, and also Badrinath is where Srila Vyasadeva is. Kedarnath is where Lord Shiva resides. Okay, let's go. Whoops. Hold on a second. And of course, this is the map, again, of Braj Mandal, which I wish I was there. You should all pray that I can get there ASAP. So, here's Govardhan, and there's all the places around Govardhan, which we already did. And then, when you go west from Govardhan, let's say Krishna appeared in Gokul, and then Radharani appeared in Rabal. Here's Rabal, here's Gokul. And that's why they were able to meet. And when they discovered there were too many demons, they crossed the Yamuna River and went all the way to Barshana and Nandagan. Nandagan is the place where Krishna resided, and Barshana is Radharani's home. Okay? And Sanket is where they used to meet. It's the meeting place between Radha and Krishna. That's pretty cool. So, anyway, so in this particular story, we're going to go to really west. But before we go really west, we're going to a place right outside of Govardhan, as we head west from Govardhan. We're starting in Govardhan. And the first place we hit is called Gantoli, which means tying a knot. And those of you who are familiar with marriage ceremonies, Vedic marriage ceremonies, you tie a knot. That's where actually the expression tying a knot came from India. Because when people get married, they tie the man's cloth to the woman's cloth, and it's supposed to remain tied for 1 week. However, not that they have to keep the same clothes on for 1 week, they can keep it tied in a drawer. So this means they've tied the knot. And of course, sometimes people talk about the knot of material attachment. But if one has a Krishna conscious marriage, the knot between the husband and wife can help people escape from the material world. That's Gantoli. Whoops. And this is an ancient temple right next to Gantoli and Gulalkund, which is where Radha and Krishna celebrated their holy festival. This Gulalkund turns colors every day during the holy festival, and nobody throws dyes in it. And Lord Chaitanya resided there. So now we're on the road to Badrinath. And for many of you are not aware that there's giant mountains in western Braj. So let's head towards Badrinath. And in Badrinath we have a temple to Badrinarayan. And of course, all the way at the top of Badrinath is where Srila Vyasadeva is. And let's enter the temple. Beautiful temple there with these mosaic pictures of Krishna's pastimes. Just go quickly. And it's Vyasadeva meditating, and different pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna, Lalita Vishaka, serving Radha and Krishna. And Yashoda Mai. So many nice pictures. And there you see Lord Badari Narayan there. And there's Narayan Rishis are also there, along with Uddhava. And you see Ganesh on our left, or I think it's on your left. And Uddhava is on the right, and Narayan Rishis are in the middle. And that's why you see them holding the 4 symbols, because Narayan resides in Badrinath. Very beautiful temple there. It's well taken care of. There's also Yogamaya. Yogamaya, of course, is the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, personified as Purnamasi. Purnamasi is depicted as an older, like, grandmother. Purnamasi, and she arranges for Radha and Krishna to have all their different moods of enjoyment, and she expands as Vrinda Devi, who arranges for all the different locales and weather and everything like that in Braj. Now, during our Brajmandal Parikrama, the devotees engaged a lot of time in eating, much to my consternation and frustration. So I was ready to go early in the morning, and here you see Braj rotis being made. This is very wonderful. Braj rotis are made by hand. They don't use a rolling pin. And it's very, very thick, and they cook over cow manure. Of course, here they're cooking over wood. Prabhupada said to cook over cow manure is first class. Wood is second class, gas is third class, and electricity is 10th class. So anyway, for those of you who are thinking about that. Braj rotis are very tasty. We used to ask, when I was taking rotis, I used to ask the Brajavasis to make rotis for me every day when I would live there. And they're just very tasty because they're filled with devotion. The Brajavasis are eternal servants of Radha and Krishna. Then there's the Triveni. Triveni means where the 3 sacred rivers meet. Yamuna, Ganges, and Saraswati. And so we know, generally we don't think of the Triveni being in Braj, but here it is in Braj, and the devotees are pointing it out. That's Dinabandhu, one of our main tour guides in Braj, pointing it out. Walking through the woods in ecstasy to see the holy places. See, we're really happy being there, and the devotees are struggling to get up the hill, and because I'm younger than everybody else, it was easier for me to climb the hill. So, struggling to climb all the way up, and on the way up there's many, many beautiful sights, waterfalls and green parrots, and the green parrots are actually Brinda Devi's parrots. that carry messages from one part of Braj to another. And the commemoration of the footprints of Krishna as we get to the top of the hill. And then at the top of the hill, there's this Lakshman Julan, the bridge that Lakshman built. And here one of the devotees is on the bridge taking pictures of us before we cross the bridge. And the beautiful sights on the top of the mountain. Then we get to Kedarnath. You see a little video here. Hey, that was Gokul Chandra, a very great yogi. He was climbing up with us to Kedarnath, all the way to the top of the hill. And we're going to go through the video. Hopefully you can see this video. And there's Lord Shiva inside the cave. You can see how high up it is. This is a really high mountain. Let's go forward. And there's the cave, or it's a rock, within which is a cave in which Lord Shiva, a Shiva Linga, is being worshipped. So we climb in there, and there's the deity of Lord Shiva, the Linga of Lord Shiva inside. You see his face on it, too. So that's Kedarnath. It's 10 kilometers from Badri. It's called the Kedarnath Shiva Temple. So these are really tall, tall mountains there. And there's the temple at Kedarnath on the bottom of the hill. Then we get to Kamyaban. Now, Kamyaban is very, very special. It's the forest where all of your desires are fulfilled. That's why it's called Kamyavan. So you have to be careful what you desire. And the town there is called Kaman. There's 3 original deities of Braj were actually put there on the way to Jaipur and Udaipur and Rajasthan to save them from the attacks of the Muslims. So the original Vrindadevi deity, along with the other deities, was there. But Vrindadevi refused to move. Even though she's a very small deity, they couldn't move her. They couldn't take her away from Kamyavan. She was too attached to Braj. So this deity of Vrindadevi was installed by Brajanaba. And for those of you who remember one of the last parikramas we talked about, Brajanaba was the great-grandson of Krishna who came to Vrindavan to establish the holy places where Krishna had enacted his pastimes. And he brought with him some of Krishna's wives that were still on the planet, along with some of Krishna's associates. And when Brajanava got to Braj, he had a kirtan, and Krishna and Balaram and the gopis and all the original associates of Krishna, they came out of the ground to dance during that kirtan. So this deity of Vrindadevi, the original deity of Vrindadevi, was discovered by Srila Rupa Goswami on the bank of the Brahmakund and then installed there. It's a very, very special darshan of this deity. And there's a place called Yashoda Kund there. It's a very, very wonderful place where Yashoda Devi took bath, and Yashoda and also Nanda Maharaj prayed to Lord Shiva for children. And this is Yashoda Kund. So they took bath, prayed to Lord Shiva, and the Lord Shiva manifested in Kamyavan is called Kameshwara Mahadev. Kameshwara blessed them. Then, after that, Sridham was born. And not of course, actually, sorry, I got this wrong. Vrishabhanu prayed. Yeah, Vrishabhanu and Kirtana prayed for children to Lord Shiva. And then Sridham was born as one of their children. Then Srimati Radharani. And Ananga Manjari was born. And Ananga Manjari is the younger sister of Srimati Radharani. And that came about through Vrishabhanu and Kirtana's prayers to Lord Shiva. And this is Kameshwara Mahadev. So we pray to Kameshwara Mahadev to fulfill our desires. And our desire should be to become pure devotees of Radha and Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. So Kameshwara Mahadev Ki Jai. So as we've mentioned many times before, there's different manifestations of Lord Shiva at different locales in the Holy Dham, and these manifestations are called Dikpalas, or guardians of different areas of the Holy Dham, and they prevent any rascals from coming into the Holy Dham and even understanding Krishna. Even if the rascals can enter, like sometimes Aurangzeb and others entered, they were prevented from seeing the real Holy Dham. They just saw a veneer. That means a thin covering. So sometimes people who are not qualified go to Vrindavan and they just see the pigs and the dirt and other things like that. But they're not actually seeing the real Braj underneath. The real Braj has to be seen by devotees. Premanjana, Churiti Bhakti Blochanena, Shantak Shadaiva, Hridayeshu Vilokyan Tui. So, nearby is a place called Vimal Kund. This is where Krishna the Coward Boy is played. And in the Puranas, it describes that anyone who actually bathes here has all of his sins destroyed. So Krishna here had pastimes with the daughter of King Vimal. Now, King Vimal, believe it or not, had 10 million daughters. Whew. It's a lot of daughters. Anyway, somehow or other. And these daughters prayed to be able to associate with Krishna. And they were given that benediction. Also, Durvasa Muni here, bathed here, with his 60,000 disciples. And this is where the story of Durvasa Muni and the Pandavas occurred. So the Pandavas were living here in Kamyavan. So we're not going to be able to see that. Here's some of the present residents of Vimal Kund. They're quite cute, but I don't try to adopt them. Gaya Kund actually is there also at Kamyavan. So all these different locales are there. Gaya Kund is where people offer Pinda to their forefathers in Gaya. And so this Gaya Kund is the original Gaya from which the other Gaya is expanded. So here's the story about the Pandavas. So this is where the Pandavas resided, in Kamyavan. Wow. So the story is, once upon a time the Pandavas were in exile. They had not yet gotten into their agyatavas, hidden exile. That was in the kingdom of Virat. But now they were in open exile and they were living at Kamyavan. So while they were living at Kamyavan, Duryodhana and company decided to try to get them into trouble. So what did he do? He went to Durvasa Muni and pleased Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni said, "What would you like, my dear Tamaniak?" No, he didn't say that. "What would you like?" he said. And Duryodhana, in a very tricky way, said to Durvasa, "I want you to go and visit the Pandavas and bless them at a certain time." He gave them the exact time. So the problem with them going at a precise time, which was after the Pandavas had finished eating, was that there would be no food to feed Durvasa Muni and his 60,000 disciples. Why would there be no food? Because Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas, had this vessel that could feed unlimited people as long as she had not eaten her meal. So what happened is the Pandavas finished their meal and Draupadi was eating, and they all finished the meal, and there was nothing left. Almost nothing. So Draupadi had finished her meal, and Durvasa Muni arrives with his 60,000 disciples being sent by Duryodhana, and the Pandavas get really upset, and they're trying to buy some time, and they say to Durvasa Muni, "We will feed you, but please go take a bath first." And that's the proper procedure before you eat. You're supposed to wash up. So Durvasa Muni and 60,000 disciples went to take the bath. In the meantime, the Pandavas were in complete anxiety, shaking in anxiety. And they wondered what to do. And when in trouble, guess what? Who do you call for? Krishna. So Draupadi tried, or didn't try. She was calling out, Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. And Krishna had assured her previously that whenever you need me, I will be there. Actually, there's even a song, a mundane song about call me, I'll be around when you call me. But anyway, that's in regard to Krishna. Because Krishna is there. Whenever you call out, Krishna appears in his holy names, and Krishna will help you. So she called out, Krishna came, and Krishna said, what's the problem? And she said, the problem is we have to feed Durvasa Muni, we have no food. And Krishna said, let me look at your pot, I'm hungry too. And Draupadi was thinking, oh no, now we're going to offend Krishna. In addition to Durvasa Muni and 60,000 disciples, Krishna looked in the pot, found 1 grain of rice, ate the 1 grain of rice, and we all know when Krishna is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. And Durvasa Muni, with his disciples who were bathing in the Yamuna River, became full and started to burp at that point. Their bellies became extended, and they were thinking, oh my God, they must have prepared a lot of food for us, but we ain't hungry anymore. We can't eat a drop of food. We don't want to offend them. And Durvasa Muni and his disciples ran away. And that happened right here at the Pandavas' hall at Kamyavan. So it's a very, very special place for the Braj pastimes and for the Pandavas' pastimes. Amazing. So the Pandavas were here. And then we get to a place called Charana Pahari. That means the imprint of Krishna's lotus feet. Many places in Braj, you'll see Krishna's lotus feet imprinted in different rocks. Sometimes you'll see the flute imprinted, but that's a place where Krishna's feet have their imprint. And so we offer obeisances to this imprint of Krishna's feet. Charan Pahari is called. Here's the outline of Krishna's foot. It's not that big. I mean, some people think Krishna was like 20 feet tall or something like that. Maybe Bhimsen was. But not Krishna. Charan Pahari. Krishna played his flute here. Oh, here's actually the story about Charan Pahari. The reason the stone melted was that Krishna played his flute and the mountain melted. And this place was visited by Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Dvaitacharya, Madhavendra Puri, Madhvacharya, Vallabhacharya, and the Goswamis of Vrindavan all came here to see Krishna's footprint. So this is bona fide, because the Goswamis of Vrindavan actually came here. And there's the little temple in which the footprints of Krishna are. Krishna also performed a sacrifice here because he killed this Vyomasura demon, who was the son of a Brahmin. Vyomasura is a demon that flies in the air. The flying in the air demon. And here's the temple again on the hill. And here is the cave. This is actually very interesting. This is called Vyomasura's cave. This is the cave in which Vyomasura stole the cowherd boys and he kept the cowherd boys captive here. Krishna fought with Vyomasura here, and then Vyomasura fell from the sky and the earth started to shake. Krishna landed on the earth started to shake, and Balaram put his foot on the earth to steady the earth at this particular point. So this is really an interesting place, this cave. Here we are inside the cave, enjoying life. This is real enjoyment. See how happy the devotees are? Just take a picture of people at Disneyland and see if they're smiling like this. They're not. People at Disneyland are miserable as hell. But here we are inside a simple cave, remembering Krishna's pastimes. Look at the face of this devotee. He's in complete bhava. complete ecstasy. His name is Navadweep. He is complete ecstasy. Look at that smile. All the teeth are showing. So anyway, he's probably watching, or his wife is watching right now. So this is Vyomasura's cave in which he put the cowherd boys. And the story of Vyomasura is that he was the son of a Brahmin, Mayasura, and he became made believe he was a cowherd boy, and he flew in the air as the cowherd boys were playing cops and robbers, and he stole the cowherd boys, and Krishna had to kill him. Here we are again. Look at the happiness on the devotees' faces. There's Sudharma. She's with us right now online. They are so happy. And another devotee, Vaishnavi, Mandarani. I remember all these devotees. I still know them. Prananath back there. Here we are climbing down. And also, around this area is the Pichel Pahari. Pichel Pahari is the slide that the cowherd boys would slide down. So all the devotees got an opportunity to slide down the hill. A natural slide. Pichel Pahari. Close to there is what's called the Bhojana Stali. A Bhojana Stali is the lunch place where Krishna and Balaram, the cowherd boys, used to eat, and their imprints of the bowls and plates within the rock. See a close-up of that. Wonderful. This is Balaram's yogurt pot. And you can still see spots where the yogurt fell, too. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. It's just like devotees are experiencing so much happiness. And Balaram's footprint there. Kadam Dandi. That's a really important place. This is close to where Radha and Krishna would meet. Between halfway to Barshana and Nandagan. And there's a very nice kund there. Uchagan. Then we get to Uchagan. We're getting very, very close. Very, very close to Barshana, because this is the place of Lalita, where Lalita lived. And Uchagan is Lalita's village. Very beautiful place. And these are the deities of Radha and Krishna and Lalita Devi. You see Lalita Devi down here. You see how beautiful these deities are effulgent. Of course, they're not very opulently decorated or anything like that, but these deities are very special because they're in where Lalita Devi was. So, that's it for that slideshow. Maybe we should see the beginnings of another slideshow, if that's all right. Do we have enough time? Yeah, a few minutes. We can, hold on a second. Let me go to my slideshows. It's always enlivening to do something different on Sunday. Okay, so we did. Here we go. Go to next slideshow. All right. We may be able to finish this one tonight. Let's see. Give me 1 second to get it started. Just change the display settings. All right, let's just do some screen sharing again. Give me a second. I'm having so much fun, I can't stop. Here we go. This is where we start with Barshana. Whoops, don't need to do that. Okay, so here we are. Let's just continue. So Uchagan, we were just at, this is Lalita's birthplace, as we mentioned before. And here's the deities. We just saw an imprinted in the rock. There's beautiful pictures of Radha and Krishna and Lalita Devi. And a beautiful deity of Lalita Devi. That's not there. This is an ISKCON temple. That's from an ISKCON temple. So then we get to Mor Kutir, which is very close or part of the Varshana area. And Mor Kutir, anyway, we'll describe what Mor Kutir and Mangar and Krishna Kund and the village of Chitradevi. So, and anyway, this is Mor Kutir. Mor Kutir is where the dancing contest occurred between Radha and Krishna. And they both made believe they were peacocks. I'm sorry, contest between, no, sorry, Krishna and a peacock. So I got it wrong. Radha was teasing Krishna and both danced. Some say they were both peacocks. Others say they were like peacocks. And what happened is that Radharani's so-called mother-in-law and sister-in-law tried to discover them there. And Krishna transformed himself into a peacock that was lying on Radharani's lap, so he was not discovered. Here's a beautiful picture of Radha and Krishna dancing like peacocks. And you see they both have peacock feathers in their hair. Then Sankari Kaur is like an alleyway between two rocks where Krishna was stopping the gopis to steal yogurt, and he actually smashed the gopis' pots, and he broke many of the pots. And there's marks there where the yogurt ran down the side of the rocks. Here are the devotees going through Sankari Kaur, and here's where the yogurt ran down. That was thousands of years before. Of course, I'm sure some devotees recently put yogurt there. Is the top of the hill nearby. Krishna Kund at Varshana, and many intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna occurred at this Krishna Kund. Now, there's a wonderful story about this. Dana Bihari. The gopis would swing Radha and Krishna at this particular place, which is right on the mountain. Once upon a time, the story goes, a Brahmin had a daughter, and he was so poor he couldn't give any dowry, and he couldn't find anyone to marry his daughter because he didn't have a dowry. So this Brahmana's wife had a very sharp tongue. That means nag, for those of you who don't know what that means. And sent her husband to beg. He approached Krishna. Krishna gave him gold jewelry, the weight of Radharani. Wow. And that's what happened at this particular place. That's called Dana Bihari. It means the charitable Krishna at Parshana. And you see, Krishna is actually blackish, these particular deities. And right near there, there's a temple. Whoops, here's a closer picture of the deities, or a more intimate picture of the deities. There's the Jaipur temple there at Parshana. It was built by a king, Kushal Bihari. He was a king of Jaipur around 1900. And inside is Radha Kusha Bihari. That's in the Jaipur temple. The Sriji temple, and these deities were installed by Brajanabha. And this hill of Parshana is called an incarnation of Lord Brahma. Govardhan is an incarnation of Krishna, and Parshana is an incarnation of Lord Brahma. These wonderful, beautiful deities, big, big temple. And when Prabhupada went to visit the deities here, they had to carry him up all the stairs on a palanquin. We're getting different viewpoints of the temple. We also did an aerial shot of the temple once, which I don't have with me. So there's a pathway along the top of the hill to the Sriji temple. Here's the Sriji temple. Then down at the bottom, there's Vrishabhanu Kund, where Vrishabhanu, the father of Srimati Radharani, would bathe every day. And some people say that he found Radharani floating on a lotus here, but actually we know Radharani appeared in Raval, not in Varshana. And this is the holy of Varshana. And the reason I'm showing this picture is that one day I actually went to Varshana not knowing it was holy, and guess what? I got beaten like the men here by the women, and it was quite dangerous. I almost died that day. Not really. I died of embarrassment that particular day. In Pilukund, Pilu Pukur, which is called Yellow Kund, at the bottom of the Barshana Hill, you'll actually find this kund that is yellow because once upon a time Yashoda wanted to marry Radha to Krishna. And when Krishna came to Nandagram, when Radharani, came to Nandagram, Yashoda Mai put turmeric paste on her hands. Radha was very embarrassed and washed it off in the water of this pond, and the pond is still yellow to this day. That's why it's called Pilu Pukur. Next we go to Prema Sarovara, where Radha and Krishna were sitting, and what happened was something so interesting. There was a bee that was bothering Srimati Radharani, and Madhu Bangal, that is Krishna's funny Brahmin friend, said to Srimati Radharani after he got rid of the bee that Madhu was gone. Now, Madhu is the name of a bee, and it's also the name of Krishna. So he said Madhu is gone. When Radharani thought that he was referring to Krishna, she started crying and crying and crying. Krishna began to cry too, and these tears became the lake. It is also said that Krishna dug out this lake because of his flute, using his flute because the cows were thirsty one day. Okay, and we're going to end with the next place. Okay, this is the deities there. Radha Krishna Prem Bihari. And the imprint, wow, yeah, I forgot about this. The imprint of Radharani's shawl is on the rock there. Amazing place. And that's it. That's it for today. So anyway, we can take one or two questions. It's a little different than our normal Chaitanya Charitamrita class, but it was interesting for a Sunday program. All right, I will unmute you, and you can ask some questions. Okay, who has a question? No one has a question. I think I unmuted you all. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Advaita Chandra. No,
Oh, oops, sorry. I unmuted on accident.
accidentally. Okay. Who else has a question? If no one else has a question.
Gurudev, I can ask a question.
Yeah.
It's Krishna Pura. I can ask a question. So
Yeah.
if we find ourselves like separated from the holy Dham, and we know that when we're in the holy Dham, we places and it helps us to have positive samskaras, remember Krishna. So should we feel that there's some lack in our adhikari and that we should, pray to the holy Dham, pray to our Guru Maharaj to allow us to enter into the holy Dham?
Well, if we feel ourselves separated, that's actually good. That's a good mood of separation. That connects us. Separation connects us to Krishna.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's actually good. And then, yeah, just that helps us pray more intensely and chant more intensely. That's a good sign. So,
Thank you.
who else has a question?
Gurudev.
Uh-oh. Yeah?
Gurudev, what will be the proper mood in the time of parikrama and also in the time of Braj Mandal parikrama? So, to absorb more Krishna consciousness?
The proper mood is to pray to Krishna to become his eternal servant. Like
Yes,
when we
Gurudev.
chant the holy names, we pray, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishame Bhavambudo Kripaya Tapapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrasam Vichintaya. I'm going to switch networks right now because our Wi-Fi network seems to be working. Hold on a second. If that's all right. Maybe a little glitch when I do this, so please forgive me. But I don't like to use up my phone's internet. This will just take one little tenth of a second to do this. Sorry for the delay, but that was necessary to switch networks. So, what was that, Praneshwara? The right mood is to be praying for service. Let me please my spiritual master. Let me please Krishna. Let me be empowered to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. Eternal servant. So that's how we should be praying, all right? So who else questioned? Anyone else have a question?
Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisance.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. The question I have is, when I do 8 to 10 rounds of chanting in a row, my brain becomes really heavy and it starts to hurt. Is it normal?
Yes. No. It's not normal. What it means is you're not breathing properly. Like, it's very important when you chant to breathe. The reason you're feeling your head real heavy and you feel yourself getting dizzy is because you're chanting without breathing. So you need to change the style of your chanting so you're able to breathe at the same time. There's many people, they just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So you got to learn how to breathe while you chant. What I do is I can chant while I'm breathing in, I can chant while I'm breathing out. Like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, in other words, somehow or other you got to change your style of chanting so you're able to breathe while you're chanting. It's not that the chanting is making you go bananas, but it's the lack of proper oxygen in your body, which I've seen with many people. It's called chanting apnea. Apnea means the lack of oxygen. So you've got to get enough oxygen when you chant. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you.
It's not a sign of ecstasy. Believe me, it's not. It's just too little oxygen. Okay. Any other quick questions? Questions, comments, arguments, problems, requests? Okay, Shruti Priya, that's the last question. What's the question?
I was wondering when like a personality, like let's say like Guru or Krishna or etc., like any of the great personalities choose to empower somebody, is it because they find like they'll be able to like not like in a sense like you like and just enjoy through them, or like that reciprocation is like qualified to happen there? Do you understand what I mean?
The pure devotee empowers everybody, but they have to accept the empowerment.
No.
There's no favorites. Just like I always say about Prabhupada, Prabhupada was empowered because he chose to be empowered. Prabhupada was the one. Just like you see sometimes in these movies, there's the one who saves the whole world, some empowered person. Prabhupada chose to be the one. How did he choose to be the one? He took his spiritual master's instructions as his life and soul. Everybody is offered empowerment. It's not that the spiritual master decides. I mean, I could say, even from my position, being service, doing the service as spiritual master, not that I decide, I'm going to empower this disciple, but this disciple, no way, Jose, is not going to be empowered. This disciple, phew, let him go to whatever. So it's that some disciple decides to take the instructions of the guru as his life and soul. And other disciples think, well, Gurudev's a nice guy, and I'm just waiting for him to empower me. Just like they say, some people wait for something to happen, some people make things happen, and some people wonder what happens. You understand? 3 different things, 3 different types of people. Like Prabhupada's godbrothers generally wondered what happened, or they were waiting for something to happen. And Prabhupada made things happen. There's 3 different types of people. You remember this expression, it's really important in material life as well as spiritual life. Some people wait for things to happen. Some people make things happen, and some people wonder what happens. So don't be the first or the last. Make things happen and be empowered. You're all empowered. The spiritual masters equally. Rain is equal to everything, everywhere, except for the concrete, but that's the concrete's fault, not the rain. Right? Rain falls equally on the ocean, it falls equally on the ground, it falls equally on the concrete. And it has different effects in different places because of what it falls on, not because of the rain itself. So be a person that makes things happen, not just watching things happen, wondering what happened, or waiting for things to happen. That's really important. Okay, on that happy note, we have to end. And tomorrow we'll continue with our Chaitanya Charitamrita at the same time. Thank you very much for this virtual Sunday feast. Of course, most of the people at this virtual Sunday feast are actually in New Zealand and Australia and Fiji, which is interesting. Because America, wake up, America. Wake up, America. We're going to wake up again after the next president takes over. Don't worry. Okay, all glories to his divine